Hey guys, it's Tori, and today I'm going to be discussing what I am reading for the month of April. Primarily, I'm going to be focused on a readathon I'm participating in. I am participating in the TBR Clear Out readathon being hosted by Katie at Books and Things. I'm really glad she's hosting this because, as I've mentioned in my goals and stuff for this year, I really just want to get my physical TBR down, and I'm honestly not doing as well at that as I would like to be doing at this point in the year. Honestly, I'm not doing terrible. I've definitely decreased from what I had at the beginning of the year in my non-classic fiction TBR, which is what I'm most focused on. But I've suddenly had the urge to be rereading a lot of Brandon Sanderson and doing other things like that, and I've had to reread for my podcast, and so that's taking up a lot of my reading time. So I'm not going through it as fast as I'd like to. I don't know that April will necessarily be different, but it will be nice to have a new way to approach what is on my physical TBR and hopefully try to focus on that a little bit more, get a few more books down, and hopefully start feeling like I'm accomplishing something, because I'm just reading so slow. Even without the rereads, like, I am a slow reader this year for some reason. I think I just, like I keep saying, and I'm sorry I keep saying it, I've just been in this weird reading slump, and it's just been such a long time since I've experienced something like it that it's just really throwing me off. I keep thinking I'm going to get out of it because it's not like I don't want to read, it's just like I just think I just have a lot going on in my life and in my head, and it's causing me to just have a harder time sitting down and focusing on reading, and I just haven't had as much time to do that or as much energy to do that, which, you know, happens sometimes. So I'm still reading and enjoying it. I try to read at least a little bit every day, and things are happening. I definitely think in March I ended up finishing more than I have, at least in February. I think I finished more than I read in February. So anyway, yes, I'm participating in this readathon, and she does have some prompts. It's mostly just about getting through more of your TBR throughout the month, so I do want to kind of plot out my month in a way where I hopefully will accomplish a lot more. She does have a few prompts, but they weren't ones that really inspired me, and I was like, I feel like for this readathon I just need something that will really make me excited and inspire me, and really the whole point of the readathon is just to try to refocus on reading, getting through your physical TBR in whatever way you want to, and the prompts are just like there if you want to use them. So I've made my own jar of prompts that I'm going to be going through throughout the month. So I'm going to, just for this video, what I'm going to be doing is going through what prompts are in here so that you're aware, and then I'll be doing a vlog, maybe 2 vlogs depending on how much footage I actually get within the first half of the month. That's usually how I gauge if I divide up the month into multiple vlogs or not. But either way, I will be vlogging my experience and just picking this out as I finish books. So I'm going to go through that. I do want to start, though, I do have one book that I already know I'm going to be reading because I'm doing a buddy read with one of my subscribers, and that is Marie Antoinette by Antonia Fraser. I was thinking about reading this in the month of March for her storyathon. However, I had a subscriber reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to do a buddy read, and this was one of the books she mentioned. And since I really want to focus on my physical TBR books I already own, I was like, yes, let's go for that. So I've held off on this so that I can read it throughout the month of April with her. So Melissa, we will get that planned very soon, and I'm excited. This is a nonfiction about Marie Antoinette, as you could probably guess, who was a queen of France before she was brutally beheaded during the French Revolution. And I'm excited to learn a bit more about her because I do find her a very fascinating figure that I really don't know very much about, but what I do know has me very intrigued. So I'm excited to pick this up and just learn about her throughout the month of April. That also works for People April, which is a readathon being hosted by Roz from Scally Dandling About the Books. I do want to mention that even though I'm not deeply participating in that readathon, I do want to support her because she's amazing, and I will link her announcement video down below as well. But anyway, let's get into these prompts really quick. I'm literally just gonna pull each one out and just tell you what's on it so that you have an idea of some of the prompts I'm going with, if it inspires you in this readathon or just in general in your reading. So the first one I have is a recent release. I have a lot of things I've pre-ordered and gotten in the mail in the past few months. I even have one that I won at a Goodreads giveaway that I really need to read that I haven't read yet, so that will cover those types of things. Next we have historical fiction. Pretty obvious, it's a historical fiction read that I want to pick up. Next is 5-star prediction. Again, self-explanatory, a book that I think will be 5 stars for me. Next is read a book in one sitting. So this one is with the intent that I will pick up a really short book, a really short work, and just finish it in one sitting at some point. Then we have book recommended on a recent video, so this is obviously other people's video. I should change it to mentioned on a recent video. I don't know that I'll necessarily be like, oh yes, they actually recommended this book. I'll probably just focus on books that have been discussed in recent videos that I've watched that I own and prioritize those. Then I have Inspired by Jennifer Brooks, of course, books that Jennifer Brooks in some way inspired me to pick up. Next is Animal on the Cover or in the Title. This one, again, self-explanatory. It can be any animal on the cover or in the title. 30 before 30 list. So a couple months ago, I made a list of 30 classics I want to read before I turn 30 in a few years. And I really have not read very much from that list. I'm pretty sure I've only read one so far. So I will have to pick up something from that list and read that. Then we have recommended by a male booktuber. I don't follow a lot of male booktubers. I don't think there are a lot statistically on BookTube, but I do follow a couple and they have inspired me to pick up books in the past, and so I will pick up a book specifically recommended by a male booktuber that I watch. Book of the month, a book of the month pick that I haven't read yet. TBR Veteran, a book that I've owned for a long time, or at least have had strongly on my radar for a long time, that maybe I just purchased within the last couple years, but they've been like around and I'm constantly thought about picking it up for a very long time. Either one works. Then we have Highly Anticipated. This is similar to 5-star predictions, but maybe it's just a book that I just really want to read and I don't necessarily know whether it will be 5 stars or not. I don't really have much care for that. I just really want to read it. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I do have books where I'm like really excited to read it, even if I don't necessarily think it's going to be a 5-star read. I'm just excited to like have read it and know what's inside of it. So that's what that one primarily means. It could be like a 5-star prediction as well, but I think there are other books I have that I'm really excited to read that I don't necessarily think are going to be favorites of all time. I just really want to know what they're about and what they're like. Next we have roommate picks. So this is one where I'll probably have my roommate just come in and pick a book off the shelves for me to read, and of course if it's one I've already read I'll just let her know that, but I will ultimately read the first one she picks up that I have not read myself yet. Next I have Classic First Sentence Challenge. So I'll pick a few books that I'm interested in reading, read the first sentence and compare them, rank them, and whichever one I like the best I will read. And then the final two, I have fantasy. Most of the books on my non-classic fiction list are either historical fiction, which I already mentioned, or fantasy, so that's why I have one of each of those in here. And then we have subscriber poll. I will find some way, probably on the YouTube community tab, although sometimes I really like doing it on Instagram. I just like the way it looks and stuff, so I will do on one or both of those some sort of poll. I may just do emojis, an emoji poll, or maybe I'll do like some other kind of fun way to do a poll that's a little more unsure, or maybe I'll just literally put titles of books on there and have people pick from those. I don't know. We'll see what mood I'm in when that comes up. But anyway, those are my prompts that I'm going to be working with. I will not be filling all of the prompts because there's no way in heck I will be reading that many books in the month of April. Just absolutely no way. So anyway, but that is what I will be working with. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you're participating in either of the readathons I've mentioned, what you're excited to read in April, just in general. I hope you are having a wonderful week, a wonderful reading month, and I will see you next time. Bye!